Hello there. Welcome to the new moon in Taurus. It's going to be an interesting one. You can probably already feel the energy beforehand. I find people that are really intuitive, really sensitive, tend to feel these astrological events in advance of the actual day. So the main aspect that I saw just couldn't help it, just popped out to me without even starting to analyze it fresh, is that there's a fixed square. And whenever you've got a fixed square, it's literally four planets squaring off, square, 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 opposition, opposition, right? So when you get this, you're going to get agitation and conflict and blockage. At the same time, though, I have to say, um, I feel a good energy for this new moon. However, it's going to be like a build up and breakthrough. And with that fixed square, you might have an intensification of anything. Um, Frustration, impatience, anger, not getting clarity, tired of not getting an answer. Maybe you're just tired of yourself not deciding something. But there's a buildup. So if you let it keep building up and you don't actually make some sort of release or surrender or letting go moment, then you're gonna add more frustration potentially to your life. So the thing is to allow it to build up and release. We're going to take a closer look in a minute. First, I wanted to just mention, it is a flower moon, and I thought I would wear my rose-colored glasses for a second, blur the background, and focus on the flowers. And yes, there's metaphors and symbolism in everything that I do. Maybe the blurry background symbolizes something that you can't quite see clearly right now. Maybe the new moon's going to help reveal it. And focusing on the flowers, well, that's just always a lovely thing to do, right? Focus on what's right there in front of you, what's beautiful, without blurring out the rest of, oh, but it's so beautiful. Oh, but you don't know what's behind me, kind of thing. Playing with her perception. Now, I'm going to take the rose-colored glasses off so I can see better for this video. And also because I like to see things clearly. So before I get going, I wanted just to say that if any of you are interested to practice your intuition skills more with other people of like mind, I have a free group on Facebook called Intuition Cafe. And I give people just light, easy, playful, fun exercises to try and weigh in on. And it'll just sort of nudge you to give your vibe on something, to like, oh, take a look at something that you might not have thought of. And these are all seemingly simple and easy, but shifting perception it is subtle and it's also profound when it happens. So when you're asked, well, what's your vibe of this? Or what's your vibe of that? Or what are you feeling about this place or that person? In a general way, not to give some big psychic reading, but you're just practicing tuning in. Sometimes you might surprise you. You pick up more information and feeling about something than another, one place or one person than another, and that'll puzzle you. Why is that? You can also look at everybody else who's weighing in because more and more people are participating. So there's many people going, that's what I feel, that's what I feel, that's what I feel. And you can just see where do you fit on the spectrum? Are you agreeing or are you seeing a totally different aspect than other people? So if you're interested to try that out, it's all free. It's called Intuition Cafe on Facebook. So the other thing I want to mention is I have tarot circles now running. They're going to run every 2 weeks. The next one is May 18th, so that's tomorrow. Might be a bit last minute for you, but you're welcome to join at 7 p.m. So just message me here under the video or at river.rain.info. And they're going to be every 2 weeks. We're going to go around. You get to ask a question, and however many people are there, give you a reading. And so if there's 5 people and you ask a question about your life, you're going to get 5 people giving you the reading on that question. And then you'll do your turn. They'll get to ask, and you'll do a reading. And we all go around in circles, and we answer a few questions depending on how many people are there. But usually you get to ask 2 or 3 questions. So you get 2 or 3 little readings, and you give 2 or 3 little readings. And it's just a practice, but it's also quite bonding. It's been very good so far. Like I said, every 2 weeks over the summer. So May 18th is the next one. The next one will be June 1st, but you can also take a look, message me if you would like to sign up for that. river-rain.info. All right, that's enough. Let's go to our chart. And why is it showing me 2? There we go. All right, so do you see what I mean? This big red square with an X. So it's a fixed square, and then we've got a fixed cross. So that, as I said, means tensions and conflicts. However, if you are ready to let go of things, have a breakthrough, say enough's enough, it could be a brilliant. If you let that just sit inside you and let it weigh you down or get you really, really angry or what have you, then you're going to have some trouble. Because sometimes when, when there's that much conflict in the air, whether it's inner or whether it's around you, we got to be careful not to have like episodes where we're really reactive, because you could hurt yourself, you could say something stupid, you could hurt somebody else, right? If it's an inner thing, then you're talking about your nervous system, your heart, your blood pressure, and your anxiety. So I was definitely feeling a buildup of that for maybe about 3 days. And then yesterday I had a huge breakthrough. Huge. So I really pray that it works out for you as well. I would say try to stick with whatever this tension is. Follow it through until you get to a decision or to a letting go or a, aha, oh my God, I never saw it that way moment. Because then you're going to feel the full expansion of what this new moon can bring you. A really good change of direction, a deep understanding and honesty with yourself leads you to better decisions. Leads you to alignment. So let's take a look here. We've got so many planets in Taurus. So look at this. Jupiter has just scratched over into Taurus. 0 degrees and 40 seconds. So this is why people are saying it's going to be a great new moon, probably because they look at Jupiter. One planet doesn't make or break a whole chart. As you probably know if you follow me, it's how everything interrelates at that particular time. And we look at the star patterns, but honestly, every time we pull the cards, something else pops up out of it. And then on top, above and beyond what the cards and the astrology says, there's your own gut feeling. There's your own intuitive guidance about how you personally feel it is for you. So we have to always trust, you can learn these things, but you've got to ultimately trust your gut, your insight about it. So astrology just gives us, an amazing analysis of the potential of something. So Jupiter moving into Taurus would, takes us out of Aries, less impulsive, less hot-headed, much more like grounding and stabilizing and building and loyal, and definitely thinking about money. Everybody will be very much thinking about their money when there's like uh one, two, three, four, five, six things in Taurus. Everyone's thinking very much about their security, their stability, their finances, their home, their, whatever represents security to you. Thinking about your routines as well. So Jupiter in Taurus is a good sign for that aspect to flourish. Does it mean everyone's going to make more money? No. Does it mean there's more focus on it? Yeah. Focusing on it more, does it mean it could bring it to you? It could. It all depends on whether you're focusing on it in a positive way, or shifting your relationship to money or security or loyalty, or whether you're feeling left out of it, bitter, hard done by, victimized, then that increases. So to me, it's a little more about what's your relationship to it, whether Jupiter's going to what Jupiter's going to accent. So it's interesting that when that shift comes in, it's going to ground people more, which I don't think is a bad thing right now. It's also right conjunct 0 degrees and 3 degrees. So right on top of the North Node, Jupiter on our North Node. So this is why also you're feeling pulled towards the karmic direction of the world here, pulled towards doing something else. Like if you have never thought about your finances or getting your life in order with your money or your debts, or I don't know, hopefully it's not like, well, no, a lot of people are in greed and get rich quick and stuff like that. It's sort of asking you to rebalance this into a healthy way. Like to me, we all have a right to have a comfortable living. We're not talking about luxury and entitlement. We're talking about a comfortable living with access to the things you need to take care of yourself. But I don't know, maybe there's some people that would call that even unrealistic or entitled. But if you set that expectation for yourself and you work for it, Taurus is definitely going to work for it. This isn't about having things handed. This is working for it. And it's also being smart with it. So, people can win money, doesn't mean they use it well. You can win a lottery and still people do awfully after they win lotteries, more than better, because they don't know how to handle the shift in paradigm. You're praying for wealth or a rich life, but when you get the access to it, you don't know what to do, or you can't handle it, or everyone's around you wanting something from you. So there's many reasons people sort of tend to burn through all their money and go back to their same circumstances after a lottery. So I bring this up just because there's a lot of focus on Taurus. It's going to be pulling you towards really, what are my values? How much do I really need? What's worth spending money on? How am I using my means to value myself? And do I need all this stuff in order to be valuable? You can overspend. You can spend all your money on stupid stuff and still have like a crappy sock drawer full of crappy old socks. That's not self-care, you know? Or you can be a bit frugal with I don't know, maybe somebody says, no restaurants, I'm cooking. And I'm going to spend my money at home on my own kitchen. But when I go out or when I buy my clothes, or I'm going to spend more on my apartment, or, and then they're choosing what they value and they're conscious with their money, but they're giving themselves a certain quality of life that they chose. And it doesn't have to be lavish. We're just saying it's conscious. So I think these are a lot of themes that are in the air right now. Now, the other thing with Taurus, as I mentioned as well, is loyalty. friendship and loyalty and being, Taurus can be very possessive, like, these are my friends, this is my house, this is my dog, you know, my, because Taurus sort of, like, Aries is like the newborn, and Taurus is like the 2 to 4 year old who's learning to say no and learning what's mine, you know? That's at the very base level, okay? Psychologically, obviously, not all Taurus or Aries are like that. It's just that's what it can represent. So, learning about possessions and what's yours, learning about what you value, learning about who you can trust, learning to say no. So, with all of this Taurus in the air, are you thinking about your friendships, your family? Yeah. Are you thinking about who shares your values, who doesn't? Yeah. Are you thinking about whether you're well surrounded, whether you're giving your loyalty and trust to the right people, whether it's mutual? Yeah. You know, all that emphasis in Taurus could bring up the other side too, the, you know, the possessiveness, or um it's not really cliquey because it's not like fickle about, oh well, you're with us, you're against us because we like red pants and you don't. Like, it's not flippant like cliquey that way about who's in and out. It's more like, I feel secure with this bunch and they're mine, and you better not mess with that. You better not take them away from me, you know. But then obviously being possessive creates problems, jealousy, envy sometimes. So I don't know. When it comes to all this stuff about uh material security and loyalty, maybe are you struggling with any feelings of envy or jealousy? Are you content with what you have? Are you making the most of what you have? Are you valuing what you have? Do you feel valued? Are you taking good care of yourself? You know, those are big themes, I would say. And the North Node in Taurus pulling us all towards, you know, having that new, like, Uranus is farther away from it now, but for a while they were like, right, in tandem, pulling us towards a new sense of what is security, what is comfort, you know, what is a good wage, all kinds of things in our values being pulled forward towards the Taurus direction for the last couple of years. Mercury is also sitting right on top of that too, and it's direct now. So again, other thing with Taurus you got to mention, and it comes up when I mention the Mercury side, is another shadow side of Taurus is worrying. Ah, if there was an Olympics for worrying, they would get the gold. They worry, 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 worry. And it's basically a coping mechanism if they don't feel safe, if they don't feel that there's something that they can't truly control, they don't feel safe, and then they worry, and then they start to do worst case scenarios, and it's awful. And sometimes worrying becomes almost like a sport. So we got to watch against that, especially when it comes to all, you know, these planets conflicting it. Mars is squaring off with those planets. South Node, yeah, it can pull us back down the rabbit hole, worrying and going into deep, dark thoughts places. Don't. Or we've got Pluto still hanging on in Aquarius, even though it's retrograding, but it's opposing and squaring. So, you know, worrying about, oh my God, where's the new world going? I don't know what it looks like. I don't know where I should be. I don't know where I should work. I don't know if I'll have enough money if the world changes. What if the world changes? Am I going to lose this? Am I going to lose that? And you might be. So again, we don't want too much of that. Like, Taurus is very resourceful and practical and will often find a solution and find a way to be pretty grounded and secure despite what's going on. But it's going to have come from considerable amount of thought and worry. So just to watch that tendency, because everything is still changing so much. It's not like what is now, what we observe now is going to still be what things look like in a year. Look at a year ago. Look at 2 years ago. Things are changing fast in our world. So don't get too attached to, oh no, about what's going on now, because honestly, things are changing so rapidly. We don't know when certain things are going to shift that are more long term that we truly do have to adapt to. So then we've got Uranus is right at the top of the chart here with Mercury 13. Yeah, Uranus is the top of the chart. And then we've got our sun and moon at 28 degrees Taurus. And thankfully, it's making a square to Saturn in Pisces. Yeah, but it's a square, but Taurus and Pisces usually would be pretty chill together. That's not making me feel like it's that big a conflict. The main conflict is Mars squaring off with Mercury, North Node, and Jupiter, and Pluto squaring off with it. So we've got a nice aspect, actually, just a sextile, but still a nice aspect, with our new moon and Mars in Leo, right at the tail end of Leo. Oh, Mr. Trump's going to be squirming, isn't he? Mars is back again on his, I believe his ascendant is pretty close. I haven't looked at his chart in a while, and I don't really want to look at his chart, but I remember at the beginning of his presidency, we were all waiting to see what would happen, because there was a planetary conjunction with that wasn't pleasant with his rising sign, which is Leo, and especially with Pluto opposing it. Yeah, that's not very fun. So that's more what I see as the challenger. Mars opposite Pluto can be lots of conflict and drama, lots of hardness, stubbornness, explosive dominance. So that won't play out for everybody, but it's in the air. Now, this sextile to Mars, very easy, even though it's end of Taurus. Oh, excuse me. I said Leo. It's Cancer. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Mercury retrograde is still mushing my brain, obviously. I'll blame that. Yeah, Mars is at the tail end of Cancer. I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, it's because it's opposing. Right. Opposite. Yeah, Mars and Cancer. Okay, so it's not hitting Trump. So we have got Mars and Cancer making a nice sextile to the new moon and the sun. Again, water and earth together, very easygoing, amenable, making compromises. It's not like everything just works out automatically and easily, like when there's a trine, but it means it's, you make a bit of effort, and there's a nice collaboration, there's a nice team spirit, there's willingness to work out problems together, there's communication. Mars in Cancer, though, is going to be more nurturing and emotional, and the end of Taurus, well, yeah, a mature Taurus is also pretty charming, pretty good at taking care of people, not maybe emotionally, but they will take care in the way, like, they might offer to help you fix something, they might cook a meal for you, they might drive you somewhere. Like, again, it's like practical level. And the Mars in Cancer in its best side would be having a lot of empathy and compassion for people. Still, it's this Mars Pluto aspect that's the most dramatic in the chart. Pluto in Aquarius is very opposite of emotional. It's very detached. It's It could, in its worst aspect, it could even just be nihilistic. Um, Very cold and just tear it down. Don't care. Um, Mars in Cancer is the ultimate sentimental, ultimate hanging on to the past, sentimentalist. So Pluto opposite Mars, is it forcing you to move forward, detach yourself, don't get too sentimental? Maybe it's about like, maybe you need to declutter and let go of a lot of stuff. Maybe there's people that you're clinging to that you got to hang on to. And it's going to move from being like this mushy, sentimental, oh, I remember when we used to, or, oh, but I love that thing, I don't want to get rid of it, even though it's mangy. Um, Pluto in Aquarius is like, throw it out. Pluto in Aquarius is like, I'm not talking to them anymore. It's done. That's it. It's cold. But sometimes you need that. So that's an interesting dynamic there. I feel so silly. I looked at the big Leo sign and my brain just went to Leo. Ah, I apologize, everybody. So, well, there's one effect of having, Mars square Pluto is moments of confusion in your communication or challenges to your communication or to the way you're thinking. Pluto also is challenging your thoughts and your communication. So I'm going to blame the planets like everybody else does. No, no, no. I don't have an excuse. I just got ahead of myself and did not did not analyze enough before I spoke. So, um, what else is of note here? Well, yes, the same Pluto that's squaring off with the Mars, squaring off with the Mercury, is also making a nice trine to the new moon. Because it's almost in Gemini and Pluto is at the beginning of Aquarius. So by degree, so by sign, Taurus and Aquarius would clash, but by degree, these are trine. So you could again feel like this practical side of you, this need for things to be um, useful and productive and securing could play into the Pluto, that cold sort of, once again, maybe you're making some, again, breakthrough decisions, some tough choices, some insight that just puts you like 5 steps back. Oh my gosh, I see the big picture. And you see it like a detached kind of vision. Or maybe you're like I said, I've had enough of blah, 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 blah. My needs are Taurus needs. I need somebody reliable. I need money. I need to be paid for what I do. I need people to show up on time. I'm willing to be there in return. Whatever your values are, and you say, I need that. And Pluto can come along and you can be like, take no prisoners. That's what I want. Come hell or high water, that's what it is. Otherwise, I walk. It could play out like that, where you identify just deal breakers. So it's interesting that even though Mars and Pluto are squaring, they're helping out the sun moon. So where's the issue then is if Jupiter emphasizing that north node in Mercury in the overthinking and the worrying, or you got to be secure, you've got to find the right people, you've got to be valued, taken serious, whatever it is, now. If you start overthinking, there could be some clashes, but I get a feeling that this moon is more internal than external. I get a feeling people will be dealing more with their internal anxiety more than having other people sort of have scraps with you. Although it tends to work that people say something that sets you off or mirrors your thinking or, sets something in motion. But this feels to me much more like trying to get a hold on your own worrying, your own overthinking, and trying to calm your mind. And again, like the sun moon together in Taurus would be really like value yourself, take care of yourself on a basic, all the basics boxes must be checked to be healthy, healthy, healthy. There's a big rebalancing going on. The other nice thing is we've got another trine here with Mars and Neptune in Cancer and then in Pisces. So very watery, very psychic, okay? Sorry for yawning. I'm doing this video much later than I expected. So Mars trine Neptune could be very psychic, could be very creative, could be sort of ethereal, could be very like dreamy. You might have more dreams, you might be sleeping deeper. You could also be extremely creative under that influence. So imagination and envisioning, and if you do any music, if you do anything artistic, if you love to just watch and listen to it, that would be a great use of the new moon. Look for inspiration. But if you are struggling with any of the other, like we said, breaking your head over anything, Mars Neptune is nicely placed for you to, you again, there's a lot of influence of feeling of like, oh, I suddenly get the big picture. That would be like sudden breakthrough visions or insights or intuitions about situations or people or things you got to do, things you should say, things you actually truly want, what somebody really meant. And again, you might, with Mars and Neptune in water signs, it's not going to be like proof or clarity or because they said or because it's just gonna, you might literally wake up one morning and go, oh wow, I suddenly understand that guy. Huh. And it just feels like a download and you might not have any proof. So in that case, if you suddenly get like a download of intuition, just observe, just observe. See, you'll see in time whether you're right. Don't have to tell people, don't have to confront. Just hold it in the back of your mind and observe. So this is a very interesting chart. I really do hope for everybody that you're not worrying and overthinking and over anxious too much. And if you are, I really hope that you can find a way to settle in, calm yourself, calm your nerves, and take advantage of the breakthrough aspect that's here, the big picture aspect, the take no prisoners, the getting in touch with your true needs side of it. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a look at the tarot now for this new moon. All right. And I want to burn some sage too before we do this. I find spring is, you know, a great time to start cleansing and smudging. You know, more and more of the windows are open, plants are out. You're thinking about changing over your closets and your clothes drawers, and it's easier to let go of items. And it really does move the energy. If you're feeling stuck, depressed, anxious, try to just rearrange something in your home or get rid of a couple of things. Clean it, but also use your medicines. Use some sage or some cedar, some incense. Open the windows and cleanse. And just really try to pray and ask, show me what here is no longer for my highest good. And if suddenly you're looking around your place and you can't stop taking a look at a lamp, you're like, really? Ask yourself, remove it for a couple minutes, see how you feel with the energy of it gone, unplug it, put it somewhere in another room, see how the room feels. It's telling you, your gut is telling you which energies are aligned with you and not aligned with you for now. And you don't have to get rid of it if you love the lamp, but maybe you can store it and you can use a different one, you know? Same with your clothes. Your clothes say so much about your identity of how you're feeling now. I don't think we have to throw everything out. Everything is so trendy now, like, oh, just get rid of it, get rid of it. It's like, well, okay, you can go minimal, but you don't have to throw the baby with the bathwater, as they say. If you love something, if I love this shirt, but I haven't worn it in a year, but I know I love it, but I'm tired, it doesn't feel like the right thing for now, for this season, I'll put it away. If I still don't want it by next season and I'm not wearing it again, well, then maybe it's time to get rid of it. And cards are jumping out of the deck, so we'll start with that. All right, so our first card is nice. It's the Six of Cups. And of course, the blur is making it impossible. Okay, I'm gonna have to hold it back here. Hopefully you can still see them because the blur is making the camera weird. So we have the Six of Cups, the card of pleasure and Scorpio card. So again, focusing on our pleasures, focusing on beauty. Sometimes this is sexuality too, sensuality, both. So what is the message about focusing on our pleasure? I would say, you know, if you're not, if you know that you're not addictively focused on your pleasure, enjoy the pleasures. Maybe you need more pleasure to help your spirit, to help your heart heal something. So seek out the beauty and the pleasure. Let's see where this goes. Yeah. Wow, then we've got the Empress. So she is like a Cancer, like the mother card. She's holding over her young. She's cradling her arms, very protective. Again, this feels very nice, very relaxed and easy. Maybe there's someone like this in your life. Maybe you're that person for others. There could be mothers and babies around you that you might be spending time with or bonding with. If not, maybe you just will be nurturing somebody. And if you're the one that needs it, then maybe finding ways to ask for it or receive it. And we've got our good old Prince of Discs. So we've got somebody who, contrarily, probably is indulging in his pleasure too much. It's like, yeah, let someone else do it. Although this card is a Taurus card. Um, this bull is pulling this chariot and he's quite determined, but the charioteer is just sort of like, couldn't be bothered getting dressed and can't be bothered sitting straight. And the reins are held off to the side, which would destabilize the whole thing. So he's not thinking straight. Um, his whole body is crooked and crushed, as they say in French, you know? So he's not really aligned or reliable. And yet he wants everything to be pleasurable for him. So that's the shadow side of the Taurus, can be indulgent and lazy, procrastinating and righteous and stuff. Just, you know, see if there's anyone in your midst like that. Maybe that's the part you're not seeing quite clearly about somebody. Wow, great cards. Nine of Cups, the happiness card, celebrations. Hopefully there's going to be some. Hopefully the weather will be lovely for this new moon. Gatherings, go out if you can, enjoy, if that's what you like. Go out and enjoy some music, go out and have a walk, meet up with friends. Yeah, this is much more happy, celebratory, and expressive. And if you're an introvert, well, you need to find a way to express that inward, you know, in your own space. Put on something joyful, do some art, write some poetry, read some books that make you happy. This is about connectedness. See how different the cards are from the chart? Now we've got the Queen of Discs. So another very Taurus or possibly Capricorn. It's probably more Capricorn card because of the ram at the bottom. But she does have horns, more like, some um, like a bull that they started spiraling out of control there to the sky. She's a powerful person. She's got her means. She's got luxuries. She's got wealth and elegance. She's obviously either knows very well how to get those things, either she worked hard for it, or she knows how to work hard so that other people get it for her. Um, or she might be a self-made woman. But this would probably represent what a lot of people would think is success. And you can look at it many ways, but this ram right now is telling me, it's always looking at you like, really? Who are you? It sort of looks like a guard dog for her, questioning. While she gets to look off in the distance, this one is doing the work for or protecting her. So I don't know how you want to interpret that dynamic. Maybe there's someone in your life who feels inaccessible, or you have to always pass through someone else to get to them, because this lady always feels like she's observing her successes, but she's also avoiding looking at us. So you have to wonder why. Why is she not answering? Or why is she avoiding looking at us or confronting us directly? Why is she letting someone else do it for her? I mean, she's powerful enough to let someone else do it for her, but why? Why is she? My goodness, look at these cards. The lust card is next, the passion card. This is like the explosion of passion and pleasure in these cards is quite something this time. Again, look at this is the Whore of Babylon. It's a very erotic kind of card too. She has tamed this beast, beyond tamed this beast. She is master of this beast. She can just lie back and just draw from the essence of whatever she wants to create. And she's powerful and she knows it. It's a different kind of power than the Queen of Discs. This is much more of a person who is, she's laid bare, literally, and she still knows her own power. So we do still see themes of worth here, self-worth. What is success? What is, let's say, the highest level you can get to of self-esteem, self-care in a positive way? Would it be the person who has got somebody, oh, they'll take care of it for me. I've got the money, I've got the standing, I've got the authority, I've got the means. I don't have to deal with the real world. I'm perfect. I'm over here in my little shell. Is that the ultimate self-esteem and success? Or is the Whore of Babylon going, I will draw from the essence of the universe whatever I desire and I will manifest it. And I am naked and it doesn't matter. Who do you think's going to win in a contest there of confidence? Both extreme though, both extremes. But this is part of Taurus value. What is that? What are those values for you? My goodness, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so we have to see always with the Wheel of Fortune what's next to it. This seems to suggest things are looking upwards with all these cards. A turn of fortune for the better. What is next? Oh my God, it's a good card. 9 of Wands, strength. Sagittarius, sun and moon, all aligned here. All the arrows aligned and kept at bay with this main wand, with the sun and the moon and Sag. They've got their freedom. They are going to defend it. Thank you very much. This is big. I don't know. I don't have the words to quite describe this shift. But there's a big shift happening for people. There's some sort of, there really is a breakthrough. If you allow this to move through you, there can be a true breakthrough in, I used to see it this way and now I see it this way. I used to think and now I know, and it changes the course of your life. That's the feeling I'm getting. Oh my God, and our last card is the Star. This couldn't be a better reading. My goodness. The strength and the ability to shine. Let yourself shine through, my friends. If anything or anyone is trying to hold you down or hold you back, and even if that's yourself with your own negative mindsets or your anxieties, please try to overcome and release, because you are meant to shine. Wow, I don't think we've ever had such a positive reading. On that note, we can ask a very nice question. Let's look at the cards for each of your signs now. And if you would like a reading ever privately or personally with me, I'm still working online. And I take some people in person, but very few. I can come to do events or parties, and I can also do those online, but I'm just saying. What's our question? I'm going to say, well, what's your breakthrough about? What area of your life is there a breakthrough? Yeah, let's do that. What area of your life is there a breakthrough? All right, Aries. What area could there be a breakthrough for you? Is the Eight of Wands. That would be definitely with freedom to move about. That would be traveling around. It could be literally go on a trip, get out of town, rent a car. It could also be that you get a job that requires you to travel or expand your turf. It could be anything from somebody that suddenly invites you to come along on a hiking club. It's something where you're getting out of your comfort zone geographically, and you're doing something that requires a bit of adventure and a bit of risk taking. But it has a feeling of like expanding your terrain, literally. So that's a fun one. That's a fun way to have it happen. All right, Taurus, what is your breakthrough? So your breakthrough is regarding the Princess of Cups. So that would be probably around a certain person. Now, it's a princess. It could be anything from a daughter, a niece. If it's a girlfriend, then it would be a very sensitive, possibly shy, quiet, very caring girlfriend or wife. It's the younger aspect of the water sign. So she's got all of that potential, like the Empress, where she could protect and nurture and be kind and be gracious to everybody. But she'll probably be more likely to hide herself away or be a bit of an introvert. So I would say you're grappling with a certain person. And I would just say, because of the way the chart is, try to just be honest about who she is and who she isn't. And you will know what to do after that. All right, Gemini, what is your breakthrough? The Fool. Doesn't get better than that. Your breakthrough is a new vision of your life. It's time to sit back and go, okay, I've done X, Y, and Z. I'm happy with this and that and this and that. It feels like you're more satisfied with where your life is. It's time to step back and get a new vision. Where's my next chapter going? What do I want in this next chapter? So your breakthrough is something to do with having a vision. And you could get that in so many ways. I mean, hopefully analysis paralysis won't really bring you to visionary quality, you know, that will come more if you go out and you see something inspiring, meet somebody who gives you a different way of seeing things. If you suddenly tap into, I don't know, a new method, a new technology, a new industry, um, anything that says, oh, hey, maybe that, didn't think of that. And then it builds, you know, and you imagine yourself in a new way of life or a new role. Yeah, that's an exciting one. Sometimes this could be a new business as well. Cancer, what is your breakthrough about? Hmm. All right, so you got the Prince of Swords. So your breakthrough is also about a person. And in this case, if it's somebody that you're not, you know, okay, well, let's say it's not someone else. Let's say it's you. If this is you, the breakthrough would be something to do with the way you might be complicating your own life. You might be overthinking things too much. You might be a bit scattered or inconsistent. You might need to make a firmer commitment when you're sure of something. That's how it might be you, you know, when your mind is agitated and you're a little bit all over the place. If this is not you and this is someone around you, then you need to see clearly that this person is also, you know, a bit scattered and all over the place, and therefore not so reliable or consistent, and maybe not so honest. And you got to step back and see who this person is clearly. Um, my breakthrough related to somebody. Now, it's a female, not a male, but it's somebody that I learned was doing things and play and manipulating and tormented much more than I realized. And for me, that was the breakthrough. I'm a Cancer, and seeing that person clearly has brought layers and layers of seeing other, like, years of this relationship clearer, and other people that are parallel to the same thing that was, you know, snagging my mind about that one. Now it's like you have an insight. It not just applies to one person. Usually you see a domino effect of a few where it applies. And that can be the same for Taurus with what I said about the Princess of Cups too. Seeing this person clearly, seeing somebody clearly, will lead you to seeing a pattern clearly. So yeah, keep your eye out. Could be a male, could be female, but it's somebody who's not always not reliable, and maybe playing games or manipulating, not terribly happy in themselves, sort of a tormented mind, you know. Okay, Leos, what's your breakthrough? Death card. Okay, so for you, there might be a real 180 coming. There might be a bit of a surprise or a shock or an absence or a what just happened? How did this? I was counting on, I thought, huh? Why was the rug pulled? But then the death card always brings something better in its place. But there's a weird standstill first. And that could sometimes, I don't know. I haven't studied it to say, like, over the years, I've taken notes how long it does a death card last, but I would say it's fairly short-lived. So could be a couple days, could be maximum a few weeks where you're just sort of lost because something that you thought was gonna that you had invested a lot of your time in and money and plans and your heart into just goes Disappears, just taken, and you're left with a hole. And that is the death. It's not a literal death. And then it brings something better instead. It brings something always better. So if you're going through that, just trust that whatever you're going through, if a crisis, the death card means something even better is coming in its place, and just try to have to the best of your ability, have faith. Or your breakthrough might be even just around understanding the nature of reality that way, that's sometimes what happens. Sometimes, oh, but we were dating and it was going so nice, and I thought we were becoming an item, and he just disappears. Oh, what? And then the universe might just be saying, okay, we know you like that one, but no, not them. And just like literally sort of removes them from your path, and you're confused. And then the next person you meet, you realize, oh my goodness, this is just so much more me. This is so much better. And that can happen with anything. Love, with customers, with job role, apartments, houses, anything. If it's not aligned, it will be taken off your path. So that's what I feel for Leos. All right, Virgo, what is your breakthrough about? You get the star. So Virgo, are you ready to let yourself shine? Because usually you wouldn't. Usually you're more practical and unassuming, or if you're going to have a big star shiny moment, well, it's got to be perfect or it's not worth it. I'm going to say, like, let yourself be seen. Let yourself be seen. Let yourself be recognized. Go after some of your bigger dreams again. That's a nice breakthrough to have. Raising the bar, coming out of your shell, being seen, believing in something hopeful and wonderful again. That's a nice one. All right, I need a little sip of something. Okay. Libras, what's your breakthrough moment? Your breakthrough about? Ah, Seven of Cups. Well, okay. There's something that you keep doing and keep doing and keep doing that's not serving you. This feels like a very entrenched pattern. And because it's the cups, it's an emotionally entrenched pattern, or for some it could be sexual or an addictive pattern, because this card often means addiction. But not all of you Libras listening are addicted to something. So how's that apply? If it's not that, it's an emotional addiction to something. And this is tough work, very tough work to look within and go, where am I blocked? Where am I stuck? And ask yourself honestly, there's an emotional pattern that you're in that's keeping you locked in the same story or same thoughts or same rut. And because it's a Seven of Cups, it's like a swampy deep, you know, takes a while to clean up a swamp. But I would say your breakthrough would come in perhaps just admitting that you're in a swamp, that you're in a pattern, that you're in a holding pattern, that you're in a negative mindset, that you're in toxic relationship or toxic emotions that you haven't been looking at for a long time, or you have, but you haven't made a decision to do anything about it. That would be your breakthrough, is to overcome that swamp. Well, not overcome it all at once, but just making a decision to overcome it or to face it. That'd be a breakthrough. Scorpios, what is your breakthrough? Ace of Cups, love. Ah, looks like Scorpios opening your heart, opening your hearts more and more. That's nice. Something is cracking you open and opening you up to let the light in and let other people in. If you're still having difficulty with that, then, we're not asking you to unzip everything and let it all hang out. We're just saying, just let us in another inch or two and let us see how nice you are inside, because Scorpios, once people get close to them, they're wonderful. They're wonderful, deep, wonderful, caring, attentive, profound people to have in your life. So your breakthrough is, allowing more love in, allowing yourself to let it out a little more bonding than usual. It's beautiful. It's very nice. Gosh. Well, it makes sense it'd be a relationship one when you've got sun and moon and all those planets in Taurus in your seventh house. It's activating your relationship house in a big way. All right. Sagittarius, what's your breakthrough? Eight of Discs, prudence. Well, what I'm hearing for you is like patience and process. Sometimes that's not so easy for you. You want it all, go big or go home, or you get angry. Lots of passion there. This is cooler. This is, more methodical. This is more symmetrical. This is almost feels like a bunch of people sitting around a table and each have an equal part to play in order for things to grow well. So I would say that would be it. It would be like rebalancing your energy level. Oh, sorry. Are you just ask yourself if you're, if something feels out of whack with how much you do versus other people, how much you give versus other people. Um, is it time to let other people assume some of the load? Or do you need to take on more yourself? Like there's something there that needs to be symmetrical and more balanced. And that's going to take some patience. All right, Capricorn, what is your breakthrough? You got the Five of Swords. So there's some sort of conflict or hard conversation that you have to have. And there might be some sort of conflict or loss around that conversation. And it feels to me like you sort of know it's coming. And so perhaps it's time to just allow it to actually happen and be official. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think your breakthrough is just to allow some sort of inevitable ending to happen. That could be anything from letting yourself walk away from an acquaintance, quit a job, say no to your mom or dad about something that they want. I don't know. Something that feels like it's been ongoing and drawn out, and it seems like I know this is coming. And you've I mean, I can think of one Capricorn friend where it could be applicable with a pet whose health is not very good, right? So that would be like, again, an inevitable thing that you saw coming that you've been thinking about a lot. And it's like, okay, maybe it's time, hopefully not time for the pet in terms of, um, but is it time to, I don't know, give them the medication they need, an operation they need? There's something like that. If it's friends, or family conversations, it's going to be long overdue, and just have it. Just let the tough talk happen. Let the break be the break. Let the hiatus, let the sorry, I don't want to do that project right now. I said yes, but I can't. I want to. Let the conversation happen and let it move you forward. All right, Aquarius, what is your breakthrough? The Hermit. Well, have you been hermiting too much? Have you been lone wolfing it too long? Or conversely, do you need some time to yourself to go within and think, look at all that light, all that illumination. And the Cerberus, the three-headed dog down there at the bottom, could represent, you know, some sort of inner voices or inner demons or something that's diminishing. It's small, but it's still there from the past or still bothering you. And maybe you need some time to just iron that out or sort it out in yourself. If some of you have been alone and not opening up and going it alone without feeling close to people for too long, it might be time to really come out of that shell, come out of that phase. So it's like it feels almost like a turnstile. It's like the hermit. Are you going in to be a hermit or are you coming out of the hermit? Which do you need to do? But you need to do one of them. You need to recognize which one you're in. And finally, Pisces. What is your breakthrough? And you have the Two of Wands. There's a conflict or an argument, something you're angry about that needs to come up. You need. This could be, like I said, this new moon feels very internal. It could be just you're admitting to yourself that you're angry about something. Maybe you've been in a bit of, oh no, it'll get better. Oh no, they don't mean it. Or, oh no, they didn't do it on purpose, or any of that kind of excuses, justifications for things. If that's it, then maybe it's time to say, you know what? I'm really angry about that. That's not okay. It could be confronting anger that you've got from the past that you're still carrying and you don't want to. You just want to feel lighter again. So it doesn't mean you're going to have a blowout with anybody. There could be, but I doubt it. It feels to me more internal buildup of anger. And for some, people suppress it and then it turns into sciatica. You suppress your anger and turns into high blood pressure or something. So just examine whether you've got any inner anger or rage inside you. And you can think about how to channel that, and just being honest with yourself about the anger will help it move forward and will often help in tandem with other things, healing whatever physical stuff too. Like sciatica and back issues are almost always, from what I've lived it myself and I've watched other people over the years, it's usually when you feel like no one's supporting you, you're always last, people abandoned you, they weren't fair to you, stuff like that. And if you let it go on long enough, or you've experienced so much coming at you for so long, where you don't feel anybody had your back or stood up for you, or you tried and it didn't work, people didn't listen, for whatever reason, it wasn't the right approach, over and over again, if you feel that way, I noticed that will come up in the back or sciatica, and your body is saying, I can't stand it anymore. Admitting that you're angry is healing in that case, because you'd finally be saying, yeah, I'm sick of this. I don't want these circumstances. I don't want to be this way, and then you can, anger directed properly will help you decide and help you heal and help you be assertive and all the things that you need to have your own back again. And as you have your back won't bother you as much. Yeah. So this is a very interesting new moon. I'll be looking forward to seeing how it plays out for you. If you wish to message me and share, I'll bring up one more time if you want to reach me for any kind of consultation, or if you want to join my courses or join our Intuition Cafe. Probably the fastest way, honestly, is to head over to Facebook and find me there, Clairvoyant Medium, Catharine Allen. Message me over there and let me know you want to sign up, or that you want a session, or you'd like to join our tarot circle. All right. Have a wonderful new moon. I'll see you at the full moon next.